match that they played back in the summer split for most regions.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. Well. Oh.
yep.
Okay. Well, we're jumping into pick band. We see some bands coming out. An Oriana band from Kent State. This is for Luigi Mash. Obviously, the mid laner. He likes to play reliable, kind of supportive mages. Galio's another champion. I think Luigi Mash likes MF being banned. Pike. That is, I think, specifically for Musinator, and Pike is not a champion I see banned very often, so I think these are pretty specific bans. It kind of tells me these teams have done some scouting of each other in the past weeks. Not to mention, Kent State just went 3 games with, if I'm not mistaken, was it Miami last week? So they had 3 full champion selects to prepare for them. So the bans are going to be Oriana, MF, Evelyn. What's going to be the first pick? Ornn is up. Ash is up. There is Shen you could go to. There is...
Well, Condorex, we saw this person play last week. Or was it 2 weeks ago? They play Ornn.
Yeah, they do
Ornn
play
is up,
Ornn.
so I feel like Ornn is just the go-to pick, and they're going to pick Hecarim here. For
Prioritizing Hecarim, definitely interesting. He's one of the S-tier junglers, and with Evelyn being out, Kent State banning that away. That's Flare Pyre's jungle he likes to go to with Chicken Delivery on the Renekton. Renekton's still up. Set being hovered. Set could go in many places, but remember, Flare Pyre often jungled on Set through the duration of the LSS and has done really good on that champion. So when York University lock in Set early, it means a lot for the success of their game. So we'll have to see what this pick is here. I think it could be Ornn as well. It could be Ash.
Plus, Set can be a quintuple flex, by the way.
Quintuple flex.
Because you can always run Set as an AD with a Senna support and play Fasting Senna with Set.
Oh, yeah.
Set is also a really great support champion as well. Set can go mid lane. We saw that tank build into Death's Dance. Set's also a jungler. Set can go anywhere. Riot just overdid themselves when they created Set. The boss champion can go wherever he pleases.
But then they nerfed him so much to where he has to, in my opinion, be support, abusing the Hex Flash to be the best champion. And let's see what marksman they're going to go ahead and take. They're going to take Kaisa into Ezreal. So already both teams kind of going a bit off meta, if you ask me, more probably comfort picks here.
Yeah, in a meta where Ashe and Caitlyn exist and are the strongest champions on the patch, I'm really excited to see some different picks. Ezreal, Kaisa, definitely still like relevant picks as well.
Yeah, sure.
It's not like a Varus pick or a Lucian bot lane pick.
Right.
But it's still a little bit under the tier list. Definitely
Yeah.
below the Ashe, Caitlyn, Samira as well. Even under Jhin, but it's really interesting to see teams going for these picks still.
Yeah, and I think Kaisa is one of the more entertaining AD carries to watch because she has to live on this knife's edge of, am I going all in or am I staying back and keeping my cooldowns to use defensively? A lot of the best Kaisas pick their spots really well and go all in with their R at the right time, probably to follow up their Alistar in a bit of a combo. But we do see for Aluros is Leona. I do want to point out, Keck, that Aluros has not been playing engaged supports pretty much at all in this league. He has been on mostly Lux. This is the Lux-Varus duo that we know and love. This is... he also likes champions like, you know, more supportive mages. Janna, Lux, Nami, things like that. So double engage.
I mean, if you're going to say that, then here's another analytical point you can go for.
Okay.
Leona top with press the attack.
It would have to be Hail of Blades to get my pass.
No, but press the attack, because otherwise how is Leona going to do any damage? Because once you have the press the attack proc, you can get it really easily with the Q auto reset. Into the W, her W does quite a bit of damage.
Well,
with the press the attack, bonus adaptive damage as well.
What do you know, Keck? They're keeping the Leona top flex alive and locking in that Cassiopeia for Luigi Mash. That is one of his go-to mid-lane champions, one that is seen often in 5v5 competitive games. Just a nice tank shred option. Can deal a ton of damage. And it'll be a Nico for Kenny. All right. I do remember.
Yeah, we saw Kenny's Nico last week.
He had some crazy ults, like 1 or 2 insane AoE Nico ulties. And they're going to be looking for more of that. Look at this Wombo comp kind of developing for Kent State Esports. They want to go in with Alistar and multiple members. They want Nico to be able to flash to follow up. And at the end of the day, Kaisa with her R can follow up with that marksman damage.
Second. Is that Dr. Mundo like a legitimate lock-in?
Yeah, it's a real lock-in. That's top for Condorex. Remember, he's an autofill. He was a support player. Kent State, I think Condorex and Starponer have been put on what I guess I could call Mundo duty at this point. I think the Kent State philosophy is to have their off-rolls on Mundo because he's so reliable as a tank. He can farm with cleavers. I think you mentioned that last week when we, or a week or two ago when we saw the champion. Mundo is a tank that is really hard to stop from farming. He can always huck cleavers at CS and farm the lane out. And then we see it's responded by the signature Gangplank by Chicken Delivery. And now I'm really starting to love the draft from York University. I think they got a lot of their weapons here, and especially that Gangplank, and I could see them pulling out this game win here. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, the draft from Kent State looked really good at first, and then they picked Mundo.
Okay.
So that's like where I'm.
What is your issue with Mundo in terms of his weaknesses in this draft?
In this draft specifically, Mundo's kind of just like, I mean, I guess you can have him run at the enemy team here, but there's just so many better top lane picks right now. There's Renekton, there's Malphite. You could still play Malphite here. You could play, what else could you play? There's Camille. There's a bunch of like better staple top lane champions.
Right.
And you only really pick Mundo into an AP heavy team. Because you would rush the Spear Visage, you have a lot of monetary gold value from that.
And you can max E, right? Which
and
gives
you can
max
MR,
E. Which is crazy.
It would be a dream come true for a Dr. Mundo top. But in this case, it's just like, you kind of just last picked it, like you blind picked it, and now it's just kind of, it's just there.
Yeah, and I also think into Cassiopeia, he's kind of like food for Cassiopeia.
Oh, yeah.
He can never really threaten her life. She's too fast, and not to mention she can kite back while healing on you with Conqueror. And I'm hoping Luigi goes Conqueror into the Alistar Hecarim Mundo because it's triple melee. I think Cassiopeia can get a lot of value out of that pick. So I agree. But if you, as a coach, Kak, for a second, I want you to think, if you have a player who is a support main, a high elo support main, and you say, hey, we have 2 weeks for you to adjust to the top lane role, you might want to put him on something that's
Maokai.
Like, okay, you're not going to be a Camille and one-shot the Cassiopeia, but you can at least... Okay, you make a good point with Maokai, but I think Mundo is in that...
Poppy.
I don't know where the Ornn went. They banned it.
They banned Ornn themselves, so...
Kent State did ban it and opted into the Mundo, so there's probably some things they know that we don't, but overall, I think it's going to be Wombo combo for the side of Kent State Esports versus... York University, they want the long fight with their... I'm hoping Ezreal and Cassiopeia both run Conqueror, where if they disengage the combo of Kent State, then they'll win long-lasting fight. Another thing is I think they can play away from their Gangplank, and it's a bit more clear to me that they can gank their Leona lane over and over again and drop the Gangplank ulti, let Chicken Delivery kind of develop and farm top. And we've seen Chicken Delivery emerge from the weak side top lane as a legitimate carry threat.
Right.
Which tells me that there are 3 legitimate carry threats on the side of York University when I look at Kent State Esports comp. And I'm starting to think more late game, 4 or 5 items. I only really see Kaisa as the carry, as the scaling damage threat. What do you see here?
I mean, there's always the Nico. Remember, we saw last week.
That's right.
2 weeks back. I forgot what it was. Nico with the Death Cap, Pop Blossom. You saw how that just almost one-shot an entire team.
Right.
So, lots of damage coming in from the Nico here. As long as Kenny can find some good flanks, get into the backline, or just get into the mix of everything and be able to do damage to everybody, huge fights.
All right. Well, you said it. After a very short break, we will catch you back on the rip. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we are back. We are live with the League Saturday Series Grand Finals Consolation match. That means third place match. The winner of this game is in the money, so both teams prepared to duke it out in a best-of-5 for that prize money, for that third place in our Season 1 of League Saturday Series. I'm Diddy, joined by Keck.
Hello.
Starting today off with Condorex in the top lane, wrecked at jungle. This is for Kent State, sorry. Kenny in the mid lane, watch out for him with the big plays. Starponer at 12 on Kaisa. Gonna have to put the game on his back. Moosinator on Alistar. And for York University, we have Chicken Delivery on his pocket. Gangplank, 1v9. Flarepire on the set. Luigi Mash on Cassiopeia. Laser King on the Ezreal. And Aluros on Leona. And we see a line of scrimmage, 5-man start for either team. Some wards going out in the river. Nothing too crazy. My eyes are on the junglers.
And as we see here, we got a blue ward already in that pixel brush. Just a preemptive ward. Probably came from Rect here as he recalled, and he actually got a sweeper. And I also noticed that Luigi Mash recalled earlier. I'm not quite sure why, but he came back with essentially the same items.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure why he based right there, but didn't lose anything from that. Looks like Kent didn't have intel on that recall. And look, this might be a cheese down in the bot lane here.
Lucinator was thinking about it. I think if they were stacked together as they walked in the bush, he may have taken that, but opted out of it. Another thing I wanted to add is Luigi Mesh on the Cassiopeia for York University is running Phase Rush, so keep an eye on her to be too fast to catch by some of the members from Kent State University. I was looking for the Conqueror, though. I think the spam heal would have been crazy against triple melee, but we'll have to see how it shakes out. Another thing, I think GP gets a completely free lane against Mundo.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah, it's...
Because Mundo as well, because he is a tank, but he's one of those scaling tanks. And
right.
He needs to get items, he needs the Spirit Visage, he needs the Sunfire Cape.
And if he's not careful, I'm pretty sure GP can chip away and then solo kill, actually.
Right, because remember, GP also ignores armor
right.
with his ability.
With his
barrels.
yeah.
Woo! And we see some aggressive trading here coming out in the mid lane here. Kenny really taking advantage of the Nico passive and just doing a lot of on-hit damage to Luigi Mash. But all in all, just some standard farming here. Once we see the junglers get to their level 3 power spikes, they either look for some ganks here. As we see here on Flare Pie, set on the bot side. He's looking for a possible lane gank right here. He's in the bush, and right now, the bot lane of Kent State have no idea he's there.
Yeah, we see Hecarim path from top to bot, so Flare Power knows this. They're going to be expecting Hecarim to emerge from that bot side jungle and look for a gank. What they don't know is that Hecarim is calmly full clearing, right? So Flare Power wasting a bit of time, and as the wave was pushed past his brush, he kind of had to just walk away or commit to the play.
Right, and plus we see the blue pings there. They probably saw him. They probably knew that Flare Power was there in that bot side. And here we look at here, in the mid lane, Luigi Mash forced the flash here. Flare Pie popping the Ghost and the Rampage in charge to look for a gank in that mid lane.
Now keep your eye on... Okay, never mind. Rekt is going to get bot crab off that, and Hecarim is... oh, I'm sorry. Rekt is going to get top crab. Flare Power is going to get bot crab, so they will split crabs. I believe Cassiopeia will just TP to back to lane, as she did, and should be fine. So getting flash, nice job by the Hecarim on that gank, but...
now that you see the intel, you see that Hecarim has the 20 CS on his scoreboard. That means the team of, York University, they now know that Hecarim did opt for that full clear.
Here comes Flare Power.
Here's the 2v2 in that mid lane again. Cassiopeia is going to drop down the miasma, do lots of damage. Haymaker from Flare Power.
I love this activity of 2v2 mid. This is what I often talk about on our streams, how important that is. I like seeing both junglers visiting the mid lane. I think if you can win that lane for your team, it has massive implications on the game, as we see Chicken Delivery taking nice trades on Muno 2, and Rekt retreating to the bot side of his quadrant. My eyes, I'm sorry, that's Flare Power on set. Getting these two mixed up. I need to stop that immediately. We have Rekt on Hecarim advancing towards his bot side, as Flare Power on set advancing towards his top side jungle. So it might be a little while before those two meet again.
Oh, and look at some damage that Chicken Delivery is doing onto Condrex. He's actually going to chase down Condrex here. This might be a kill. Nope, just going to get some grass procs going down.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Mundo, and I'm wondering if the Hecarim is going to gank the Gangplank at any time, or if he'll stick around mid to bot.
Yeah, the thing is with the Gangplank lane is that although he is a scaling champion, he still is a strong lane bully. His grass procs with the parlay does so much damage. And as a tank champion like Mundo, you can't abuse that. You have no kill threat on those Gangplank whatsoever, so Gangplank just gets to completely dictate the lane state up here in the top lane.
I can imagine a world, Keck, where if Mundo were to get ahead, let's say gank or two or some mistakes by Gangplank, if you can get to the point where you can ignore his damage and all in him, I think I could imagine Mundo maybe running the Gangplank down. I don't expect that to happen at Chicken Delivery. I just think there might be an item point where you can stack enough armor to ignore a barrel or two and actually go in for that all-in kill. I could be
Oh,
wrong.
and here we can see Kenny going for the flash forward into the roots.
Dang!
It's the kill, Pop Blossom, first blood going over to Kent State University.
Kenny with the plays already, and it's for first blood at almost 6 minutes. He goes for he hits the E, knowing that guarantees if he flashes, his ult will land Luigi Mash. No flash from that gank earlier. Let's take another look. As soon as this E lands, Kenny knows that Luigi Mash is dead.
And just look at this. He sees that the KSU agrees with the minions, and he runs up right away. And look at this.
We have action on the
going in
screen.
the top lane. Condorex is going to go down in a 1v2 scenario. Red comes up for the gank in the top lane here, but Chicken Delivery able to find the return kill.
Yeah, that's really insane that Chicken Delivery can actually get a kill in the midst of a gank, and I believe his lane is resetting and crashing right now. I just saw some minions go under turret. That wave will bounce back to him. He's already up 16 CS. And as we see Red Team claiming Drake. So his team gets Drake. He kills the jungler. He gets Sheen Executioners and gets his lane reset. He is looking good in this matchup. I think
This
the solo
guy
kill
is so far ahead.
Yeah.
He already paid the Mundo tax.
Right.
And he still has
and got Sheen first back.
And he got a Sheen.
That's
so.
really insane. So Mundo in a lot of trouble here. You could spam gank GP though. And you can gank him over and over again and dive him. The only thing is,
No, I think you have to. I think that's just the way it is, because right now, GP is technically your weak side pick. You are supposed to just pressure the GP so he doesn't get a free farm mode. And at the rate this is
here
going,
he comes. He's coming.
Here comes Hecarim. But GP already cleared the entire wave, so he really doesn't lose too much. He's going to get knocked back by the Hecarim here. Feared coming in as well. He's going to have to force the flash. I'm surprised Chicken Delivery didn't burn flash the first time around.
I am too. That was my first thought. Exactly. That means he was able to kill Wreck during a gank without flashing the first time, meaning that he can continue to apply that pressure knowing he has flash for the next gank. And really well played by Chicken Delivery. I'm sure he's telling his team with time their comp will scale and that everybody can remain calm while he slowly builds his lead on this GP, looking for that late game carry. And the fact that
you say scale, look at the team of York University. They have all the tier scaling. And here, look, Aileros is looking for a roam in the mid lane.
Okay.
But unfortunately, he's going to get caught out by Alistar. Alistar roamed up as well.
I really like that roam from Musinator, and great job by Kenny now. That's 2 kills he's been a part of. He is a force in this early to mid game, keeping Kent State close. They're actually up 1,000 gold. I know it's been looking really good for the top lane of York University, but keep in mind, Kenny and his playmaking can definitely carry them through the early to mid, where Star Poner on Kaisa can maybe take over late.
And so now that the junglers are reset, just a little bit of a slower paced game at the moment. Both teams are just farming up.
Yeah, and the bot lane, I think maybe some pings going down. Oh no, they see Leona. Yeah, it'll be a 2v2 soon. I'm not sure if they know if Set's there, but Wreck coming out of the base on Hecarim here. Chicken Delivery looking to crash this wave. This would be really nice for him. He could even go for plates in this matchup, I think.
Oh yeah,
Demolish.
he definitely can. Now we see both junglers are on that bot side again. Hecarim on the chickens. But look at Set. He's going for an alcove gank. He really wants to gank this bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him. I think that's where he should look to play either mid or bot and away from his Gangplank, and we'll have to see. Now they have eyes on Wreck. They know, okay, we have a bit of time before he's here, but he is on this side of the map. Do they want to force, or do they want to counter gank? Flare Pyre might have to spend a lot of time.
Okay, and looks like Musinator's going to go for some trade damage, but now Flare Pyre, he's really investing a lot of time just sitting in the bot lane. He's even eating up his laner's CS right now.
They're hoping that Wreck went straight from red for a gank, and he didn't. And I think, like, great job by Kent State's bot lane here. I think they sussed out both of those lane ganks. I'm not sure if Flare Pyre accidentally walked over a ward and was actually discovered, or if their senses just told them, hey, maybe now's not the best time to look for a fight. But either way, both times he's snuck in for a lane gank, he has gotten no reward, and you can see a CS lead developing from Wrecked on Hecarim, who is approaching the completion of Triforce, at which point he could be the strongest champ on the map with that one-item spike.
And here we go. Looks like Kenny's going to find another route onto the Cassiopeia here.
Everybody's heart just stopped when Luigi Mash was hit by the Bramble root.
But he's like, is this Nico going to flash Plat Boss on me again? Flashbacks to level 5.
Both mids have their flashes up, right? And neither jungler has been mid in recent time, so I wonder if there is pressure mounting in that lane or something to give soon.
Oh, Ezreal's is going to deny the cannon minion from his support, and here comes Hecarim. Both Hecarim and Necro down here. This is a 4-man bot. Pop Blossom comes another massive damage here. GP Ultimate coming through as well, looking to get some return kills, but unfortunately for York University, Kent State just had that really well planned.
That was a sick play by Kent State. Props to all those guys, everybody involved. They dive with no hesitation. Did not lose any members. This Kenny on Nico right now is completely carrying the early mid game. What a great play. The 4-man dive. A lot more teams need to learn how to do that and pull it off. We saw they even got Cassiopeia TP because she couldn't make it in time, but it didn't even matter. The play was so quick. That's why you draft champions like Alistar, by the way. And hey, Kent State making this combo comp really look great when they've already pulled their combo off under turret pre-12 minutes.
And here, look at this in the top lane. They're looking for some action. They're looking to dive Condorix here. Showmaker coming in from Flarepire, and he's going to secure the kill for himself. Teleport from Kenny is going to go top lane. Only going to stop the Rift Herald from taking that possible first power in the top lane. But
Yeah,
overall, win for York University. Great stuff coming in from them, fighting back on the top side of the map, even though they lost. And here we look, another 2v2 going on in the bot lane. Mussolinator looking for a combo onto Aileros, but Hecarim is going in deep. Leona ultimate coming down as well. She's looking for a root, but she's not going to find anyone. Cleanse on Star Pwner.
Watch Cassiopeia Luigi mesh.
And here comes Cassiopeia, flash forward, gets the ultimate down, does so much damage. Star Pwner's going to go down to Laser King. And another kill, double kill going over to Laser King on that Ezreal.
This game is hype already. It's 12 minutes, but we see back and forth top and bot plays. There's counter play, there's cross map play, there's ganks being countered. We saw Laser King getting 2 kills off of the aggression of Musinator and Star Pwner and Rekt. They turned it with just Luigi Mash walking through the river, but they're not done in this bot lane. Rekt wants to collect these minions. He could easily go down here.
And that is such a good punish coming in from York University. They saw that Kenny teleported to the top lane to answer that 2-man dive topside. And so they know for a fact that he can't be mid. And Pop Blossom's going to go through and it's not going to find and the damage onto Luigi Mash. And now Kenny's on the running for his life. Uses the Hex Tech Protobot to run away. Then Twin Fangs shut down, going over to Luigi.
Luigi Mash. He did it. He did the Cassiopeia thing. It's hard to do in games, but if you basically can hold your Q poison on them, there's not many champs that can fight you back. They kind of have to just run. There was no support in time. Musinator almost made it there in time to save his mid. But great job, Luigi Mash. And this game is neck and neck. One drag, a team, 5 kills per team, and the gold is looking like less, like 1,200 gold to York University right now. And Keck, I want to ask you, how much of that gold lead is Gangplank's passive? Probably the whole thing. This game is 50-50.
All right, gold lead for top lane alone is almost 2,000 gold.
Yeah, so GP, not only is he 9 CS per minute right now, but he gets more gold generated from his Q whenever he Qs minions, so his pockets are fat. We see Rekt here doing really well. He is up almost 20 CS in the jungle. He's completed Triforce without a single death while being a lot of their early game aggression, as we see Aluros possibly eyeing someone
and
up.
Here comes the Radiant. GP Ultimate coming down as well to mitigate this damage. Showstopper coming in, but he's going to get cleansed by the Alistar Ultimate, but he's going to still kill Star Pwner here. They're looking to chase down the Alistar for the double kill. And look at this, Luigi Mash is going down to the bot lane to roam as well, but he's going to be found by Kenny.
Yeah, and it seemed like, okay, maybe Flair is playing top with his Gangplank, but he's kind of just all over the map, and I think that is a playable playstyle. You're kind of giving up your pathing efficiency, which probably explains his camp deficit, but when you're visiting each lane and getting so many successful ganks off on this set, then you're going to get the kills instead of a bounty on your head. Really great job by Flarepire showing up on his jungler here, making plays happen.
Oh, and great Eve from the Flarepire here on the set. Pulls a Nico, but not going to be able to find the damage to possibly get a kill into Kenny.
Yeah, but red team with total control of the river. We see Ezreal just recalled. It's Drake time, Keck. It's time to start setting up. Leona's going to recall for some wards here. It's last recalls before they try and take control of this river. We see Rekt and Musinator doing their job clearing out their quadrant first before they start to look to get into the river here for this Drake number 3. I will also add, I don't think this Drake is make or break for either team. I think a lot of teams get baited into it's all or nothing here. But if you're in a position where you maybe want to scale, you need item completions or whatever, this Drake, not do or die. So I'm interested to see to what degree these teams are going to prioritize this third Drake as it is a mountain. Will both teams put everything on the line for this third Drake? That's my question.
To me, I feel like this is just a dragon that York University will get just because they are ahead. It will just be like, oh, we're ahead. Dragon's up. Let's just do it.
Okay.
I don't think this is a Drake that either team really needs to set up for.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
And GP is just so far ahead of Dr. Mundu right now. That's almost 2,500 gold alone.
Yes.
Just ahead. I hear it. Cassiopeia face checks the Nico ultimate. Forget what I said about free Dragon. That might just be Dragon going over to Kent State.
Every time something starts looking good for York, it's Kenny with the plays on the Nico. This time it was just a good brush play, right? You put a pink in the river brush, and if the enemy mid decides to take that path, walking into Fog of War, they just die because they're Nico. So great job, Kenny.
That's the second time Luigi Mash went for a Fog of War, just face checking, and finds Nico. I feel like it's not. Oh, and the double stun from the Leona ultimate. Aileros is pretty nuts on this Leona
Here's
pick.
Flare.
Here comes the GP ultimate here to counter gank. But here comes
Chicken
the teleport
delivery
as well.
gets
GP
it.
is looking to get some return kills. And there's
Free
another
TPs.
teleport. It's just a party in the bot lane. 5 people bot from both sides of the team. And right now, Rekt is in a situation he doesn't want to be in. Chicken Delivery is going to find himself the 3rd kill of the game.
It's a party, Kaka party in the bot lane, and York University had the last laugh at last call. They will go take the Drake number 3. Really well played. My eyes were on Flarepire with the setup. Aluros with a beautiful 2-man Leona stun. That's why you draft that champion. She can engage from a screen away. All it took was the follow-up. And as TPs started piling in, more TPs started piling in until all 5 York University members were there. They were able to focus down the Hecarim, the jungler, the main target, and take Drake number 3. But you know what, Keck, I'll say one more time, I don't think this really wins York the game. It just looks great for them in this mid-game as they scale into their Gangplank second item, their Ezreal Triforce, and their Cassiopeia tier.
I mean, just looking at the team, like looking at York University, their GP is huge. Everyone else on their team is getting the gold as well.
What side did you flip again?
I'm pretty sure I flipped York.
Wow.
Yeah, I flipped York.
You're insane.
Coin flip prediction, guys.
Well, it's not over yet. I know I'm the one who asked.
Should I do another coin flip?
No.
I'll coin flip for game 2.
Results-based.
And we're reaching that 20-minute mark. Baron's going to spawn in 1 minute soon. So it's time to see how the teams plan to rotate their members around the map and see how they prioritize pressuring the Rift.
Yeah, great point, Keck. This is definitely that time. We see Cassiopeia and Nico are both bot lane. Both bot lanes, duos, are in the mid lane, and both tops on the top sides of the map here as we have some jungle farming going on, some river control here on the side of York University, but they don't look like the team to me that wants to start Baron right at 20, unless Cassiopeia is ready to go and burn it down. They need Cassiopeia for the Baron damage, and it's just a bit early, so we'll have to see.
Oh, and look at this. They found Hecarim. He's going to have to be forced to use the Onslaught of Shadows to escape. And here we go. Rift Herald's going in that mid lane. Look to take down tier 2.
I missed Chicken Delivery getting the Herald.
Huh?
I missed Chicken Delivery getting the Herald.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea he even had it, but bang. Tier 2 down. Chicken Delivery is on Triforce, Essence, Reaver, and Executioner's Calling. He is ready to start directing his team. And remember, Keck, when we saw them winning battles against Miami, it was when Chicken Delivery was grouping on Gangplank. There was no other time they were ever winning against Miami last week other than when Chicken Delivery was completely popping off on the GP. And he's starting to rotate, starting to group, taking turrets down, and saying, hey guys, it's time, let's go.
Oh, and here Flarepire is going to find Kenny. Kenny's forced to pop his clone to escape, and here comes the ultimate from Leona. Now I'm going to find Kenny. Kenny's going to be able to flash out. GP ultimate coming down as well to try to get some slows. But nobody on the side of either team is going to be going down here in this fight.
Yeah, but no Nico Flash to me is actually huge. That is Kenny's most important tool on this champion. He wanted to complete Death Cap and while having Flash up so that he can go delete 2 or 3 members. But unfortunately, as he purchases Death Cap, whether it's sooner or later, he probably won't have Flash. And that will really kind of stunt his next team fight. So I'm wondering if York will track that Summoner and look to make plays around it.
And as the time goes on, GP gets stronger as well. 200 CS in around 20 minutes. He's hitting that CS number like really, really well.
And that's why a lot of teams in this league have banned that Gangplank, even round 1. I think that would maybe be a round 1 ban for me, and it's easy to say in hindsight and all that, and I'm sure there's much more strategy that the coaching staff for Kent State has put into it, but moving forward in the specified series, he looks like a player who gets the most effectiveness out of this champion. And
I just want to throw a quick question mark ping at Flarepire. He has been taking blue buffs.
Yeah, that's something
That should be Cassiopeia's blue buff by definition.
Yeah.
After the first one.
100%, but hey, I'll never understand. I'm not a jungle main. And we see teams are kind of lining up Drake, right? Drake's up in a minute. Cassiopeia, Luigi Mesh here is top. He should have TP up soon. So that's their actually far side split right now, is the Cassiopeia. They have Gangplank on the Drake side, on the objective side, which normally you want GP away, but I think because it's chicken delivery, because he's on 2 items, I think he wants to be on the side of the map where Drake is, and they're going to send Luigi Mesh top to split, and I actually love that play call.
Oh, and here comes GP in the bot lane getting engaged on, but he's going to be able to flash the onslaught of shadows. He does not get feared here.
Yeah, GP no flash, and Nico no flash, okay? It looks to me like everybody else has their flash for this next fight, so if these teams are timing that, then those are 2 targets, but wait.
But there's no Hecarim ultimate. That is essentially their main engage.
That's right, so they could wait for that cooldown and look at the difference between GP Flash and Heck ulti. I think that's an option. Tension is rising in this river here. Does it just go over to York? Is it steal?
Oh, and Rect is looking for some action onto Luigi Mesh in that mid lane.
They're contesting.
Here comes the dragon. It looks like it's... Both teams are contesting it pretty deeply here. Look at Luigi Mesh is by himself. Ooh. He's going to have to use the ultimate on Alistar alone. He's going to get flash auto stuns. Starponer's going to get himself the kill. Possum's going to find Aileros here, doing so much damage. Flarepire, it's going to secure himself the Drake. But look at this. He's just getting chased down. Condorix on this window flashes forward, but he's going to get whittled down so fast.
Dang, chicken delivery is actually the equalizer. I saw a beautiful play from Musinator and Starponer hitting Luigi Mesh up on the backside. Remember, he had no flash. Or I'm sorry, he did flash hard. Anyway, Kenny goes in with a huge play that looks like it's gonna win them the Drake, but at the end of the day, Flarepire gets the Drake on the smite battle, and Chicken Delivery wins the fight. But watch him right here.
Oh my goodness, they're going for this Baron buff, even though they know that the jungler Flarepire is alive. I think that was a bit too bold coming in for Kent State.
I like plays where you can start Baron and just decide, okay, let's walk away. It shows a bit of calculation and patience from the player. Chicken Delivery showed up and said, all he did was put 1 barrel up and shoot it, and they had to run away.
Yeah, because they didn't. I don't think they saw the teleport at first. But then once he pulled the first Baron down, put the first barrel down,
and they're
saying,
like,
okay, we got it.
Get out of here.
And maybe Chicken Delivery might be biting a bit off more than he can chew, leashing down the blue buff for Starponer here. Starponer's going to ult in forward, gets the 850 gold shutdown.
That's tough. Unfortunate, just misplay and greed. Kaisa is a champion who can get on you from a couple screens away, and he had no flash, and he was in the side of the map that they wanted to get into, probably because Baron's up, right? So. That's okay. It doesn't lead to any game-breaking objective or anything, so I'm sure he'll be able to spawn and get back on the map before they lose too much.
I mean, when you're worth 850 gold, I think you are the objective.
Wait a second, Keck. I think you're absolutely right. That was a bounty that they did not want to give over.
And to Starponer of all people, too. 80 carry is not the person you want to be giving gold to.
Especially not this one, from the looks of it. Kaisa champion that if she can get to 3 items before the game is doomed, that is usually her goal. And Star Poner here looks like he's well on his way to completing the Nasher's Tooth, at which point he will genuinely be a poke champion that can DPS, can burst, can gap close, can invis, and much more.
All right, now that Chicken Delivery is back on the map, pushing out that side lane, they are just looking to play a Baron. As we see here, both the jungler, Flare Power, and Aelorus are working together to set up vision in the Baron pit.
Yeah, it's actually Baron time now. It's a lot of teams line up like they're going to play Baron at 20, but never do because it's 20 minutes and it's harder to kill. But I think at 26, especially looking at these lane assignments, Luigi Mash having the TP, he's playing away from Baron. I think teams are genuinely going to give a look at taking control of the river or the enemy jungle quadrant that is nearest to Baron.
As we see here, both teams are just... York University here are just shoving up the mid lane, getting priority for themselves so that they can walk in both sides of the rivers, both rivers here. And they just have the general lane pushed going in favor for them. So they're able to walk into the jungle and set up vision for themselves. As you see here, they're also able to steal away jungle camps.
Yeah, York is in total control. I think Kaisa was just basing for Nashers, and I think that is why Kent is not really on the map right now. But I think they're going to escort Kaisa in to get mid control. Once that mid wave is pushed, they'll have a bit more options on getting control of vision here. And would you say it's kind of like the Kaisa show at this point? 3 items?
I think it's the Kaisa Kenny show. Because if Kenny can get himself a multiple man ultimate pop blossom onto key targets, Kaisa just goes in there and cleans everyone up. Because the empowered Q, her ulting in there, getting autos off, she does so much damage. With the AD enhanced Q, Kaisa's execute damage is deceptively strong.
Right. And for York University, my eyes are on Gangplank, obviously, but after that, Ezreal, once he gets his Death Dance, would you say?
Yeah, I think he can be at a really strong 1v9 position as well.
So my eyes will be on those 4. As we line up, it's Drake time again.
Not to mention Chicken Delivery as well. With Cassiopeia, they are dishing out a lot of damage. Oh, and we have a pause coming in here.
A pause. All right, well. What do we got here? It's a 5K gold deficit for York University as we line up for what would be their Drake Soul. So this is absolutely do or die for Kent State. Condorex, no TP quite yet. I'm not sure if York University has that time, but he is topside. He's kind of missing in action. He'll have to TP down shortly. You can see Hecarim on the minimap here looking for possibly a flank. You see him on the screen on the far right. The wrecked here, that's Hecarim. He can genuinely get behind Luigi Mash, Flare Power, and Chicken Delivery. So pretty interesting position in the game to pause. What would you say, Keck?
Yeah, this is a really sticky situation because one of the rules that I've seen in some leagues is that when we're in combat, you don't pause.
Right.
Or if you pausing should only really occur when you guys are all out, you have there's no fighting.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So.
And
from what we see here, you see Rekt is clearly just running in,
getting
ready to look for an engage, and then pause.
Yeah, so which I kind of felt like, wait, should I not be talking about what either team can do because they can it's pause. It's really weird.
Do you want to know what either team could do right now?
Do I?
You want to know?
Yeah.
They could crack open a monster and, drink
They could, and then they would be powered by monster. Would their abilities do more
hold
damage?
on. The game is starting here.
Okay, great.
And here, Rekt running in there, grounded by them, but he's going to eat a barrel as well. He's going to have to force the ultimate ground out. Ezreal snipes him with his ultimate. And look at this.
Barrels.
Flare Power's in the mix of everything, but here comes Mundo running in the backline by himself. He is running for his life. Mundo goes where he pleases, but Seth says, no, I'm going to kill you right now. Luigi Man slays the Doctor, and this looks like Dragon going over to Kent State. This might be their Mountain Soul.
I gotta say, I don't love the way that fight started, but I did see Chicken Delivery hitting multi-barrels on multi-carries at one point. Other than that, I didn't really catch the start, and it goes the way of York University, who are claiming Mountain Soul now and will look to head straight to Baron.
And this is probably it. Like I said, Mountain Soul, 3 Mountain Dragons going over to the side of York University. They're going to be so tanky. They have that free shield as well. Now the Baron is going to go over to them. I think this is just going to be a game closer very soon. Rekt is not going to be like anywhere near to be able to contest or steal that Baron. And here it is. Baron Master is going to go over to York University.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just going to be blunt. The way that pause left a bitter taste in my mouth for that fight because everything was on the line at that fight. And if the initiation was botched or if the comms were scuffed or something, that's just really unfortunate. Kent State University really going to have to, buckle down to stay alive in this game with the Kaisa here, and we know Kenny can pop off, but I believe last fight he had a solo ulti on GP who oranged it, if I'm not mistaken, and so that wasn't the look. But yeah, they're on the back foot now. They're down 7K into Mountain, Soul, and Baron.
So from my standpoint on how Kent State can come back in this game, they play vision. They try to get into their jungle. They try to sweep out the vision that York University does have, and they play to predict the rotations. They look for death pushes. They have the Nico.
Okay.
They have the Alistar. You have if York University is never not careful and they funnel into a death push Nico, that's a 5-man Pop Blossom that could potentially turn a fight around.
That's right.
Now that's probably their win con right now, but looking at how the siege is going, York University is just playing the vision setup in the jungle for their rotations so well. It's going to be really, really hard for Kenny and Kent State to find that opening.
Yep, York University does know how to use Baron, and it often has a lot to do with chicken delivery solo in one lane, while the other 4 are either hovering, as we see 3 of them doing now, or in another lane pressuring.
Yeah, this is just a really strong chokehold here coming in from York University. And look, here comes an engage onto Luigi Mesh in the mid lane. Feared GP Ultimate trying to save his mid laner, but unfortunately that's going to be a killing spree going over to Starpunner.
Now the question is, can they rush down and 5v4 these members here? Like, they should be looking to initiate.
This is
right
going to be
here.
tough here because the main engage.
Oh, Kenny!
Pop Blossom! Kenny finds 3, stuns them up. Here comes the Showmaker from Flarepire, looking to get a knock damage onto a lot of people. Haymaker, he's going to miss the flash here, but that's a lot of damage going through. Shutdown from Laser King going on to Starpunner. Not Starpunner, I'm sorry, Kenny. What a very active and wild fight.
Yeah, great ultimate by Kenny on 3 members to set up a fight that Kent State could realistically win, but Chicken Delivery is still kind of the equalizer here. He can zone with barrels, and while Starpunner was free-firing most of that, Chicken Delivery was fighting back with Qs, getting frags, and hitting with barrels, so it was sort of a battle of those two at one moment, but great job by Kenny to really
and they might be overstaying their welcome. Rekt is looking for an impossible engage, ramping charging up right now. Look at this, another fight going down. Luigi Mesh is up. He's going to teleport into the fight. Miasma coming down. Condorix is burning. But Chicken Delivery is taking so much damage, he's going to have to pop a stopwatch. And Condorix is burning, and he goes down. Luigi Mesh with the Andrew's Poison Burn gets the kill with the damage over time.
Yeah, Chicken Delivery almost going down there, having to use his stopwatch. They are able to get Condrex on the back end. I think his all eyes were on Chicken Delivery, but Laser King was there to back him up, was aggressively Arcane shifting in to cover the GP, I think, who did not know he had aggro and took 1 or 2 too many shots. Either way, it's Baron push, gets them bot inhib. That's not really the end of the world. I think the Mountain Soul is kind of the more looming factor here at the end of the day, but York University's first Baron push, wasn't that bad. I think this is a game that Kent State can really drag out and maybe look for an Elder angle. And if they get Elder buff, they can absolutely win a team fight against this York team.
No, I have to say, you brought up a really good point. That Mountain Soul was probably the difference in that team fight. You saw Kenny go with, he has a death cap, he has Sork Shoes, he has the penetration.
Yeah.
And he went bot lane. He got a 3-man ultimate onto key targets. But you saw their HP bars. They didn't go boom. They went down by like 20%. And that's really that Mountain Soul just eating up so much of the damage and mitigating so much of that burst from Nico here.
That's right.
And now that the ball lane inhib is gone, we can see that the rest of York University are opting for a 4-1 split from the top side now. They know that with bot lane being pushed in automatically from the super minions, they can pressure top lane because that's the farthest distance that the team has to travel to deal with super minions and the top lane siege.
I love these lane assignments. I love that they're doing 4-1 with GP in the middle. He just has to be playing the most careful because, Alistar with a Hex Flash, Hecarim with an ulti can really tag him up for Kaisa to go in, and then he's 1v5 in the mid lane. But he understands this and is giving enough space here. So Like you mentioned, all 3 lanes being pressured because we see Kaisa has to run bot to clear these supers.
But that's another thing I wanted to point out, too. I think this is the latest evidence that York University should have been doing in the first place. GP should be the one that's on split because he has oranges to cleanse out from fears from Hecarim. We saw what happened to the Cassiopeia. She got feared up by the Hecarim, but then she couldn't do anything because she just got CC chained over and over again.
But Chicken has been playing on the play, like on the side of the map that they're playing to, since he completed Reaver. I think this team's style is to play to Chicken because they need him to be
and
there.
here, like I said again, Cassiopeia out by herself. Just Reckless going in, and here comes the Pop Blossom. Alistar's gonna save the enemy! He saves Luigi Mash here, and unfortunately, Kenny is probably gonna die as well. Moosinator, no!
Yeah, Rex, I saw you pop up on Summoner's Rift there. I think you like jumped through their portal and were actually in that fight, which was crazy. But yeah, we saw the Kenny ulti look good, but it was disengaged. I don't think the Kaisa follow-up was there. I don't think it was necessarily timed the best, but at the end of the day, punished by York University, who will advance and take mid inhib along with top because Chicken Delivery was one-on-one with Mundo getting top inhib during that. They will collect Elder.
Unless there's a possible Mundo steal here. Mundo's going to pop his ultimate, but...
How nuts would that have been if Connor X Cleaver stole that?
Oh, my.
And now it's they can go ahead and shuttle over to Baron, scoop that up, and my call would be no recall.
I think they just end the game here.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say no recall, go straight for the end. If you go get Baron, it's 100% free end, but they will take the 5v4, which is probably a 95% free end. As how can you kill this team right now?
You just pray that all 5 of them run into your bounty. I think that's the only analytical way that they could possibly win.
Rek goes in.
Here comes a Ultimate Man Sphere, but Cassiopeia burn damage. There's so much Pop Blossom, does nothing, does no damage whatsoever. Haymaker gets the kill. Triple kill going over to Luigi Mash. 7-4 and 6 on this Cassiopeia. And Kaisa just flexing her mechanics, ulting in and flashing back.
And York University will take Game 1 of this best of 5 of the LSS League Saturday Series Season 1 Grand Finals Consolation match. That's for 3rd place, and I'm right here. Oh my god, look at the Nexus. Oh, I'm gone now. But crazy game. This was genuinely a great game, and I think this is going to be a 6 series. It was so back and forth.